Hello crafty friends, it's Erica, ScrapDiva29. Welcome back to my channel. I'm coming on today with a project share and a tutorial for the Andy store on AliExpress. This is the 3D lantern that is new in their store, and as you can see, I've put it together and it's absolutely adorable. This is the side view. I didn't decorate the three sides, I just decorated one, but I think it came out really pretty. I used this beautiful glitter cardstock for the base of my lantern, and then I went in with this really cute patterned heart paper. I used vellum inside the windows, and then on the base is another glitter cardstock that coordinates with the paper that I chose. I did use that adorable butterfly steel rule die that I recently picked up off of AliExpress. I cut it out 3 times in white glitter cardstock, and then the flowers and the leaves do come with the die set, and I just die cut them out several times and just layered them on the front of the lantern. And I did pop some really pretty bling on the centers of the flowers, and I think it came out gorgeous. The hello die is just a die from my stash, and I just thought that looked really cute on the front of the lantern. I figured that this would be cute craft room decor just to add to your room. I love it. It's a really adorable 3D paper crafting project, and it's simple to put together. So I figured I'd come on and show you guys how to put it together. So let's jump into the tutorial. Okay, so the die set looks like this, and basically you're going to need pretty much 4 of everything except for the flowers and the leaves. That's going to be up to you. I'm just going to show you how to build the base of the lantern. So you'll take this die and you'll cut it out 4 times. And it will look like this. And what I did was I added double-sided tape to all of the flaps to speed up the tutorial. I've also added in some window or some vellum to make it look like a window. You can choose to use whatever color cardstock you would like. So 4 of those. This is the base of your 3D lantern, so you're gonna cut out 4 of those. And I have 4 of those cut out, and again, they're already, I've already applied all the adhesive, so we can speed through this tutorial pretty quickly. So 4 of those, and you'll need 4 of the base, which looks like this. And these are the 4 that I've cut out. Here's the 4th one. And again, you're gonna add all the adhesive to the outer flaps. And then you're gonna cut out, I cut out 2 of these. And 1 I left the flaps on, and then 1 I just cut the flaps off, and this is what that looks like. And what I did with the flaps off, I just layered it on the inside just to make it a little bit more sturdy when you're assembling your box. So did that, and then you're gonna need 1 piece of this 1 square cut out, the larger square, and then you also need 1 small square. And that is all the die cutting that you're going to need to do. So I'm going to go ahead and put this off to the side, and I am going to bring this in, and we're going to start with the base of our box. All right, so let's get started. So when you die cut these out, obviously you're going to add all of the tape to your base. You're going to take your bone folder and fold it in, and make sure you give it a good varnish. That is really important when you're putting these types of 3D projects together. It really helps when you're assembling it that you have a good crease, and it just will come together so much nicer. So I have already taken the liberty of adding the tape and doing all the scoring and folding on all the score lines. So I'm going to go ahead and take the adhesive off, and we're going to go ahead and start the assembly process. So I'm going to take this tape off, and we're going to start right there. You're going to grab a second one, and what you're going to want to do is it kind of folds like forward when you're putting it together, and you can just line it up with the score line and press down, and then you're going to just line it up with this dotted line and press down. And we're going to move to the next side. I'm taking this adhesive off with my tool-in-one. If you have any adhesive that's hanging over, just flip it up with your finger. go ahead and take the next strip, which is the third one, line it up carefully, and then take your back finger and push it down like I'm doing. And again, line it up. And make sure it's lined up. Oh, you gotta make sure that it's lined up, because if it's not, it'll be off a little bit. And when you are working with this double-sided tape, it's not really forgiving. It might take up a layer of your cardstock, so just make sure you take the time to line it up. I think I am a little bit off on this one, but I think we're gonna be okay. So just be really careful when you are lining it up. Make sure that you are happy with the alignment before you press down. And it's a good idea to just kind of fold this one up and make sure that it's lined up perfectly. Then press down, then take this side and again line it up like so. So there's the 4. Now we're going to adhere this side together, and as you can see, the base is coming together. So we're going to go ahead and take the adhesive off of these 2 flaps. And this one right here. And we're going to again line it up. Very carefully. And that looks good to me. And then I'm going to carefully do the bottom. And then I'm going to take my fingers on the inside and give it a good varnish. Make sure that everything is adhered nicely. Okay, so now we have the base of the box, and what we're gonna do is I have my Barely Art glue, and I'm actually just gonna go ahead and glue. I'm gonna add a little bit of glue right here because I did kind of peel that up when I was trying to reposition it, and I just want to make sure that it's adhered. So I'm just going to push this down for a second. This glue actually dries pretty fast. So I'm just holding it with my fingers for a couple of seconds. All right, so that should be good. Uh-oh, I just lost my glue. Sorry about that, you guys. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take this off of the bottom of the base, the tape. As you can see, this is very sticky adhesive. And once it's down, it's down. Like, it's not gonna go anywhere. If you prefer to use wet glue, I would suggest using Fabri-Tac, because Fabri-Tac allows you more time to move your paper around and adjust it. Whereas like fast drying glue, like this type of glue, doesn't really give you a whole lot of time. So I just took off the adhesive, and I'm going to get that larger square that I cut, and I'm just going to cover it up. And I am just going to line it up with a side very carefully, push down and press down like so. And then I'm just going to take my bone folder and just make sure, I'm going to give it a good varnish on the inside, make sure everything is adhered on the base of this lantern. Okay, so I think that's good. So the next thing that I want to do is I am going to go ahead and I'm going to build the top portion of this, and I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think I'm just going to, I'm going to go ahead and just build this up first, because this piece is actually going to go on top of here, and then we're going to be building our window like so. So I'm just going to move this off to the side, and we're going to go ahead and start working on the lantern portion. Now, again, same thing with the lantern portion. Make sure you go in and fold on all of the score lines, press down, make sure that you give it a good varnish. Let me put my needle back in my glue so I don't lose it. Okay, so varnish, make sure everything is folded very nicely. And then we're just gonna go ahead and take off the score tape. And actually I have one piece of vellum that I cut out, and I left this out on purpose because I wanted to give you a tip. When you are cutting out the inside for the window, cut one and make sure that it covers it. And then you can use this as your template and cut the other 3, and then you will be good to go. So I'm just gonna quickly, I'm gonna go ahead and just glue this. Using this fine tip on this Barely Art glue is perfect for this type of project because this is vellum that you're working with, and you really don't want a lot of glue. A little bit goes a long way. And like I said, this glue dries pretty quickly. So I'm going to take my vellum sheet and just line it up and press down. And I'm going to put my needle back in my bottle so I don't lose it. And just use my bone folder, give it a good varnish. All right, so that's good to go. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and start with taking off the sides of the adhesive on the little flap. Again, if you have any adhesive hanging over, just fold it up. You're gonna take your second one and you're just going to line it up against that score line and press down. And I'm gonna go ahead and do all of those first, and then I'll go back in and do the top portion. It's just easier that way. So taking off all of the tape. And this is not, you know, a super fast project to put together. Definitely take your time. It's well worth the time that you put into this type of project. But if you do all the prepping first, it makes it go by so much faster, and it just makes it so easy to put together. I have a little bit of adhesive hanging over, so I'm just gonna fold it in with my finger and go ahead and take the fourth one and line it up right below that score line. And that looks good. So now I'll go ahead and take off this one, and we're gonna put this together. If I can get this off. Let's take it off. And then we're gonna fold that down and line it up. Just trying to make sure that I have it lined up perfectly. And that looks good. Take my bone folder and give it a good varnish. Now this is gonna pop up like so. And now we're going to go ahead and take the tops off or take the sides off. We're gonna put these ones together. So again, lining it up, push it in inside with your finger to make sure that the adhesives takes hold. And we're just gonna go through each side and do that. See how nicely this is coming together? So cute, right? So cute. And this one right here. And then the last one. Like so. Okay, and now these pieces right here, you're gonna just wanna bend them back a little bit, and we're gonna take this, excuse me, just drop my tool. Take these little pieces off and adhere them and go around again. And I did use 1/8 score tape on the little smaller flaps in case you're wondering, and then 1/4 inch on the rest of the adhesive. Push in, and then we'll do the last one. All right, so that is good. Now what we're going to do is actually, what I just realized is that you do not need the adhesive on these straps, but it's okay. I will come up with something to cover that with, so don't worry about that. All right, so let's go back to the base. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this piece right here that has the 4 flaps, and I'm going to adhere it down to this base. And I'm just gonna take off the score tape, and we're gonna just push it down. You can cut another small square if you want to cover that up. You can, but it's not necessary. And as you can see, I'm struggling to get this off because it's on so well. I'm telling you guys, this adhesive is no joke. It really is strong adhesive. Let me take this side off. And this side. And I'm sorry, this is like a little bit time consuming, but again, I'm doing this in real time just so you guys can do it with me. So there we go. We have those. We're just gonna fold this down and just kind of let it stick to each other. See how it kind of just sticks down? And then you're just going to center this as best as you can. And I'm just gonna stick it right here and press down. And it looks pretty good to me. And I am going to glue this piece in. I didn't glue it in. I thought I did, but I did not. So I will go ahead and glue that in right now. And this just gives it a little bit more stability. You don't have to do that part if you don't want to, but I just did anyway. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to adhere our lantern to this piece right here. And actually, you can adhere this together before you put it on your base. That's probably the easier thing to do. But you can do it like this. I just stuck mine on like this, but basically you could adhere your window pieces on first, which would probably made more sense. Adhere the window pieces on first, then adhere it to the base. So I do apologize. I meant to do that, but I got ahead of myself. But it will still work out, and we'll still put this lantern together. I hope that makes sense, you guys. So definitely adhere your window piece to your little base before you adhere it to the actual base. That'll make it so much easier when you're assembling it. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comment section. I will try to answer them the best that I can. Okay, so I took off all the adhesive. Now I'm just gonna carefully insert this inside and line it up as best as I can. And I'm just pressing down, and I'm sorry if I'm off frame. I'm trying to make sure that I am seeing what I'm doing. And then I'm just gonna tuck this one in. Probably best to set it down. Okay. So I'm going to take my bone folder and just push it in. That'll help me secure it from the inside. And this one is not perfect, but that's okay. It still looks nice. Okay, so there's the lantern. Everything is adhered. we're going to go ahead and build our base, or the top base. So these pieces look like this, and when you run it through the die cut machine, you're going to kind of accordion fold on the score line. So just fold up, then down, up, and then down, and then on the two flaps, you're going to add your adhesive, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and take off this adhesive on the bottom, and I'm going to line it up on the inside, like so, and press down. And like I said, you do not need the adhesive right here, but what I'll do is I'll go back and add like some glitter cardstock to where I added the adhesive and make it another little decorative element, which will look cute. All right, so again, you're going to line this up. Right above that little score line, and then push it in. Do the same thing. We have 2 more to go. And thank you for bearing with me. I do not do tutorials that often. I'm just really not that good at tutorials, but I do my best. So I appreciate you guys asking me to share how to put things together. I'm going to move my tape off to the side. I've got a lot going. Taking this one off and then lining it up again with that score line and pushing on the inside and giving it a good firm. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, and then you have to make sure that you have all of your score lines scored and varnished so that everything comes together nicely. So I'm just kind of lining everything up like so. See how I'm just kind of pushing it in, and then I'm gonna fold this over like so. So that's how it kind of makes that little shape right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the adhesive on the very top. And then the last one. And again, I just kind of pushed it in all together. And if you just kind of slightly fold it, it'll adhere to the sticky tape that you put on, like so. And push this one in like that. And then this side right here. I just kind of line up the corners like that, and see how it just kind of, you just push down and it goes together. And then I'm taking my one small square that I cut, and I'm going to put it on the top and just kind of push down like so. And there you go. You have the lantern. How cute is that? I think it came out adorable, and now all I have to do is go in and decorate it. And like I said, right here, I'm just gonna add some glitter cardstock. I'm gonna take that adhesive off and just add glitter cardstock around this base, and that will be extra cute. And just remember that you do not need the adhesive right there when you're putting this together. Thanks for stopping by. I hope the tutorial was helpful, and that you guys can go ahead and make this 3D lantern. I'd love to see what you guys come up with if you decide to pick up this die. Tag me on Instagram at scrapdiva.29, and that is it. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye for now.